How are you? An academic year without classroom, corridor, playground, computer lab and free periods. I am sure that you miss all these things. I too felt difficulty to teach you when you were not there in front of me. But we have to adjust with the situation. But I am happy to know that you are regular in your studies. Last examination, even if it was a descriptive examination, all of you scored well. Good. For the last 3 classes, we were studying about the network concept. That was a theory topic. Today we again turn our attention to the programming section, and today we will learn what recursion is. That is something connected to the function. Dear students, this recursion is directly connected with our day-to-day life. In our life, we may face lot of difficulties or lot of problems. Actually, there is a solution inside every problem. So the recursion section states that the solution is there inside the problem. Then, now we are going to see how can we write a program using recursion. Recursion is a programming technique in which a function calls itself. So it is a function calls itself. So we have seen different types of function calling. So we can call a function inside another function. That is right. For example, we did a problem before like def add. This is add function, and inside the add function I can call list function. If I have list function, I can call this list inside add function. That is possible. But in recursion case, if I am calling the add function itself inside the same function. So this is what is recursion. Okay. We'll see more about the same, how it is possible and what is the use of recursive function too. And you think of a problem. Okay, we can think of factorial program. Think of a factorial program. So what is factorial? 5 factorial equal to 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Right? So instead of this, I can write 5 factorial as, so let me modify the same as 5 factorial is 5 into 4 factorial. This is right. Then next is 4 factorial. What is 4 factorial? It is 4 into 3 factorial. Then 3 factorial equal to 3 into 2 factorial, and 2 factorial equal to 2 into 1 factorial. Then what is 1 factorial? It is 1. Okay. So by using the last step, that is 1 factorial. 1 factorial is 1. So using this we can solve all other cases. 1 factorial is 1. So let me substitute this 1 factorial with, so instead of 1 factorial I am writing 1 there. So 2 factorial is 2 into 1. So I just change this 2 factorial as 2 into 1, right? So 2. Then 3 factorial is 3 into 2, that is 6. So I change this 3 factorial with value 6. Then 4 factorial is 4 into 6, that is 24. Then I change this with 24. Then 5 factorial is 5 into 24. So this instead of 5 factorial I can substitute 120. Then we reach out the answer. Okay, this problem we have seen before, but here we solve it in another way. So we make it as much as smaller, and the smaller part, that is 1 factorial equal to 1, that is the solvable thing. Then we repeatedly apply the same thing to all other cases too. So another definition for recursion is, there is a programming technique to solve a large computational problem by making it reducible to the smallest. And the smallest one is able to solve to. Okay. So it is a programming technique to solve large computational problem by repeatedly applying the same procedure in a solvable manner. So this is the solvable case or the problem of the big problem 5 factorial. And think of any other number. If I am giving 100 factorial, then the case is same in case of 1 factorial. Then we apply the same thing repeatedly to all other cases. Finally, we will get the answer in a proper way. So this is the logic behind the recursion. So most of the problem that we have solved before can be written as a recursive function too. And for a recursive function, there are two things. They are very important. And the first one is there must be a base case. For a recursive function, a base case must be there. And the second thing is a recursive case. So what is the base case? So in 5 factorial case, we make it as a solvable one by finding out the 1 factorial. So that is the base case of the recursive function of factorial. What is that? If the value of n is 1, then return 1. That means 1 factorial is 1. That you have to keep it in your mind. Using that you can give a statement. Actually that is what is the base case. The base case of factorial problem is 1 factorial equal to 1. Then you have to write it as a programming statement too. And what is the recursive case? You have to repeat so many statements. Okay. So that is what is the recursive case. Now we can write a function, a recursive function for the factorial program. So def and the function name is fact itself and I am passing n as the argument. Okay. Then next is you just define the base case there. So what is the base case? Base case is if the value of n is 1, then the factorial is 1 only. So you can write it as the base case if n equal to 1. If the value of n is 1, then we can return 1 as the answer. Then else case, if the value of n is not 1, then what is to be returned? So this is the base case, then we are going to write the recursive case. So if the value of n is not 1, then we have to find out, think of the factorial problem once again. 5 factorial is 5 into 4 factorial, then 4 factorial, 4 into 3 factorial, 3 factorial is 3 into 2 factorial, 2 factorial is base case we have given, and the previous case you can think of 2 factorial. 2 factorial case we need to return something, but this is a recursive function, so that we have to call the same function again in this program. So I am writing a return statement. So return what? 2 factorial case, if n is not equal to 1, then only this else case is working. Then return 2 into 1 factorial. Here value, if the value of n is 2, n is 2, so we can write n into what? 1 factorial. So if the value of n is 3, we have to write 3 into 2 factorial. If value of n is 4, 4 into 3 factorial, 1 less than the real number. So n into the same function I am calling fact of what? N minus 1. Clear? Then next is the main of the same. So if I am using a number 5 to find out the factorial, so I am writing the statement as x equal to fact of 5. Then next, print statement, print factorial equal to x. This is the main for the same. Yes, then we can trace the program. First this statement is executing, x equal to fact of 5. So now the value of n becomes 5. Then checking whether n equal to 1. N is not equal to 1. So this statement is not executing. Else part will go return n into fact of n minus 1. So at the beginning fact of 5 is executing. factor of 5. Then during that time n is 5. Then return n into factor of n minus 1. So 5 into factor of 4 is executing while calling this function. And it is calling the same function so that it just moved to this function and now the value of n is 4 only. Then this is not right. Come to the recursive case, return 4 into factor of 3. 4 into fact of 3 is executing. Then factor of 3 calling the same function so that value of n becomes 3. Then execute again, return 3 into fact of 2. 3 into fact of 2 is executing. Then now n becomes 2. Then else case is working, return 2 into fact of 1. So 2 into fact of 1. Then again n becomes 1. Now the base case becomes 2, n equal to 1. So return 1. It returns 1. So while returning 1, what will happen? It just move to the previous case. So this factor of n is substituted with the value 1. Then it is again moving back. This becomes 2. Then 3 into 2. This becomes 6. This becomes 24. And this factor of 5 becomes 5 into 24. That is 120. So that is returned to the variable x. This becomes 120. So that it prints factorial equal to 120. Okay. So let's experiment the program now. Here the function name is fact, and if n equal to 1 is the base case and the else part, return n into fact of n minus 1 is the recursive case. So base case we are returning 1 and recursive case we are returning n into fact of n minus 1. And we can execute the program. I give 5 as the number and the factorial is 120. And I am giving another number 45. See the output, how big the number is. It's just to find out the factorial of the same. When you are writing a recursive function, you have to specify the base case exactly. So if the base case is not reachable, in this case the base case is reachable. You specify n equal to 1, then return 1. This is reachable. And if this is not reachable, and or if you miss to give the base case 2, it returns an error message as maximum recursion depth exceeded, because that function becomes an infinite function. Okay. While experimenting the program, you please skip this statement, this if else statement, write only return n into factor of n minus 1. Then you can see the message there in your interpreter, because that is not right. Okay. So when you are writing a function with recursion, specify the base case exactly. That must be a reachable case. That is the smallest solvable part of your function too. Okay. Now we can see how recursion works and what is happening inside computer memory when you are executing a problem with recursion. So in executing a problem, the computer creates a function stack in its memory. Have you heard about stack before? So stack is a data structure in which the item is stored and taken out in a particular order. So the last inserted item we will be removing first. That is what is stack. The last inserted item is removing first. Okay, that you please keep it in your mind. Then come to the program. When you are executing the program, it starts from here. So this is the first function call. So it creates in computer memory a function stack is created, and it may have the first entry when you are calling a function in case of recursion only. So this is our function calling statement. that is x equal to fact. So when you are calling this function, this function calling statement is stored inside the stack. It is fact of 4. So to get the return value exactly, I am using the variable also here, x equal to fact of, if I am using 4 here, then 4. Or a variable I can, and the value of the variable is only taken, then x equal to fact of 4 is the first entry in function stack. And next is fact of 4. So fact of 4 is executing, n is not 1, n is 4 only now. So return is not executing, then else return n into fact of n minus 1. So this is also another function calling. So it is storing inside the function stack. So stack is every element is placing over another one. So n is 4 now. So the value is 4 into next function. It is fact of 3. Fact of 3 is stored inside the stack. And next time fact of 3 is called. So the value of n becomes 3. Then again 3 into fact of 2 is called. Fact of 2. So return 2 into fact of 1. That is stored inside the stack. 2 into fact of 1. Then now n equal to 1, so return 1. It returns something. So when one function is returning with a value, it just move to the stack top. Then now stack top containing fact of 1. Since fact of 1 is substituted with the value, then it is removed from the stack. So the stack is executing every time with the content of the stack top. From the computer memory, what is there in the content of the stack top is executing first. So now this is executing first. So 2 into fact of 1 is executing. So that is 2 into 1. So it is just passing the data to the previous. So now this is removed from the stack. So what is next in stack top? 3 into fact of 2. So fact of, it passed the value 2 to the fact of 2. So 3 into 2. Again this value is passed to the next stack top. Once it is executed, it will be removing from the function stack. So it passed the previous value as 3 into 2. It is 6. The 6 value 6 is passed. Now it is 4 into fact of 3. So it replaces this as 24. Then the value 24 is passing to this fact of 4 function. Now x becomes 24. So actually this way it is executing inside the computer memory. A function stack is maintaining. Then what is there inside the stack is executing from the stack top only. At every time when you are calling the recursive function, the new entry inside the stack is happening, and whenever you are removing or executing a function, that particular function is removing from the stack top. I hope it is clear. That's all about the recursive function of factorial program. Then we will see more about the same. Now we are going to write some more function related to the recursion. And before that, what are the advantages of recursive function? So when you are writing a recursive function, the code becomes simpler and small. So you can write a program. In case of factorial 2, we did the program in another way using an iteration, using a for loop. There we use more code, and in case of factorial there is no much difference between a recursive function and an iterative function, a normal function. But in big program that we are going to study binary search and all, by that time you can see the difference. So the advantage of recursive function is code becomes more simpler and small. And disadvantage of recursive function is that in case of recursive function, it takes more time. Because as we have seen, it creates a stack overhead inside the computer memory. Then the data is taken from the stack. It takes more computer memory and it takes more time for the execution. So it takes time. Okay. Then another thing is regarding the iteration, the difference between a recursive function and a function using iteration. In case of iteration, for example, the factorial problem, we use for loop or the while loop to solve the same. That is an iterative approach. Iteration means loops actually. And if you are using an iterative approach to solve a problem, it uses the same memory location. For example, if I am using a for loop for factorial program, I can use for I in then n. Or normally we are using a range function for I in range of 1 to n plus 1. And in that case, every time I am using I, then one fact, if I am using f only, f equal to f into I. This is a statement that we have used, and we initialize the value of f as 1, 2. And in this case, every time I am using f only, this f is stored in computer memory, the same variable I am using. But in case of a recursive function, I am using the same in stack. So, I am using different variable to store the intermediate result. Okay. So, that is the main difference between a recursive function and an iterative function. Hope it is clear. So, we have seen what a recursion is. It is a function calls itself. And actually, it is a programming approach to make the code more simpler. Okay, how can we make it simpler? By dividing that main problem into the smallest solvable part, then repeatedly use the same thing continuously with the larger number too. That is a special programming technique. And it has its own advantages, that is, it makes the code more simpler and small too. And as a disadvantage, it takes more time. So simple and small program you can write using recursive function, that is good. But in rather big problem, better not to use with the recursive function. And another thing is recursion and iteration. They are the two approaches to write a program. And if you are using recursive program or recursion method, then we are using the memory overhead or the stack memory location. Inside a computer memory location, a function stack is being created. But in case of iteration, the same memory location we are using to store the intermediate result too. Okay, now we can think of another function using recursion. So let it be a power function. So let me define the function. Start definition only, the rest you please contribute. def power of two variables you can specify. Let it be a and b. So I specify two variables to find out power. So the result could be a raised to b. Or if I want to find out 5 raised to 3, I can specify two variables here. Let it be a and b. Okay. Then the next is you find out the base case. Before writing the program, find out the base case and find out the recursive case. So base case must be reachable. Okay. So we can make it as a small problem. This, if it is, think of this example, 5 raised to 3. So this 5 raised to 3 can be defined recursively. So 5 raised to 3 equal to what? 5 into, that is almost same logic, 5 into 5 raised to 2. Is this right? Yes. Next is 5 raised to 2 equal to 5 into 5 raised to 1. Then 5 raised to 1 equal to what? It is 5 only. So we can write 5 into 5 raised to 0. And 5 raised to 0 equal to 1. So what is the base case? Here 5 and 3 are the values, variables. So the values for the variable a and b. If I am giving 8 and 9, so it could be 8 raised to 9 equal to 8 into 8 raised to 8. Then 8 raised to 8 equal to 8 into 8 raised to 7. And so on. At last 8 raised to 0 equal to 1. Is it so? So, it is a reachable case. So, we can write the base case like if the value of b equals value of b equals 0, then return what? Return 1. Okay. Then next is the recursive case. What is the recursive case? Can make it using the same. What is the recursive case? So it is return same. 5 raised to, consider an example, 5 raised to 3 equal to 5 into a raised to b equal to a into what? The same function we need to call. Same function with 2 arguments. So we can write 5 raised to, the same example you consider, a into power of 5 raised to 2. 5 is a here, so a comma, here it was 3, here only 2. So you write b minus 1. Clear? Understood? Okay. So then you write the mean for the same two. So once again, def power ab. 2 arguments. If the value of b is 0, we returns 1, and otherwise we return a into power of a comma b minus 1. Okay. Let's experiment this program. So here power function accept 2 parameters and the base case is b equal to 0, return 1, and recursive case return a into power of a b minus 1. Let's execute the program. It prompts you to enter the number. So I am entering 5. Then 5 raised to 5 I am giving. Then see, the answer is 3125. So it is executing as a normal program. It find out the power a raised to b or x raised to y. So we can give one more input. So input as 6, raised to 3. Okay. So the answer is 216. We will discuss one more problem today. It is to find out sum of n natural numbers using recursive function. So what is sum of n natural numbers? Let n be 6. Then how to find out sum of 6 natural numbers? It is 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. So this can be written as 6, sum of 6 natural number equal to 6 plus sum of 1 to 5. How to find out sum of 1 to 5? Sum of 1 to 5 equal to 5 plus sum of 1 to 4. Sum of 1 to 4 equals 4 plus sum of 1 to 3. Then sum of 1 to 3 equals 3 plus sum of 1 to 2. 1 and 2. Then sum of 1 to 2 equals 2 plus sum of 1. What is sum of one natural number? A single number. Result is 1 only. So, here 1 will come. 1 plus 2 is 3. Then here 3 will come. 3 plus 3 is 6. Then this becomes 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. Here 10 will come. 10 plus 5 is 15. Then 15 plus 6 is 21. So then you may get the result of sum of 6 as 21. So this is a simple case. Only 6 I am giving. If I am giving 10,000 or 1 crore, you will get the result exactly by repeatedly calling the same function. So we can write the definition DEF. Then I am giving the function name as sum only, sum of n. Then give the condition if n equal to 1. If n equal to 1, then the result is 1. So we can write the return statement with 1 only, return 1. Then else case. Else we can return something else. Can you say what it is? Return n plus. Factorial we use the same logic. So the symbol is different. That's all. N plus. The function name is sum of n minus 1. Okay, calling the same function repeatedly. Then you write main for the same. Okay, let's experiment this code too. So this program find the sum of n natural numbers. Function name is sum of na. And what is the base case? N equal to 1, return 1. And the recursive case is n plus sum of na of n minus 1. And execution, we can enter a number. So I give 8 as the number. So it will find out sum of 1 to 8 and the sum equal to 36. Once again another value. So I give 12 as the number. It find sum as 78. So continuously it apply the same logic. At the beginning it check whether n equal to 1 or not. It is not 1. When I give 12, it is 12 only. So this return 1 is not executing. Else part will work. Then in program stack, this n plus 12 plus sum of 11 is stored. And next execution 11 plus sum of 10 is stored. Continuously these data are stored in program stack and it execute one by one when the value of n becomes 1. Today we have seen what a recursion is. It is a function calls itself or repeatedly applying same procedure in a reducible program code. And there are two cases for a recursion, base case and a recursive case. The base case must be reachable and that is a stop case too. And function stack is maintaining while executing a program in computer memory. A function stack is maintaining every statement, every function call is keeping inside the function stack and it is executing from the stack top one by one. Then advantages and disadvantages of the function, they are, so a recursive function, advantage it is reduce the program code and it is simpler too, and the disadvantage, it takes more time for the execution and in some case the function can be an infinite recursion. Mainly two reasons, either there is no base case for the recursive function, otherwise if the recursive function's base case is not reachable, then also the recursive function can be infinite. And the iteration versus recursion, iteration case we are using the same memory location, and the recursion or a recursive function we are using different memory location in program stack too. So dear students, as I said, this session is rather important. You can expect many questions at the time of board examination, theory and practical. And based on the recursive function, we need to write our record book too. So take this session rather important. And next you have to solve all the problem. We discussed 3 problems. One is factorial, next one is power, and the third one was sum of n natural numbers. Please experiment all the program in your interpreter. Then send the screenshot of all the problems to me today or tomorrow. Okay. So thank you.